Hello everyone, Rabbi Abe here. What if I told you that hidden in the secrets of the Bible is the way that you and I can reveal all of our potential for abundance, for health, for well-being, for peace of mind, for a perfect relationship, but it is concealed and we need the wisdom of the Kabbalah to decodify it and reveal it so that we can use it in our life. I'm going to tell you how right after this. Hello everyone, Rabbi Abe, welcome. I'm so excited for this video because I've been waiting to discuss this principle, this holy name, this concept with you for quite a while now. So let's set the foundation here, okay? So in the book of Exodus in chapter 9, let me just make sure that that's the right chapter. Chapter 3. Chapter 3, there's a story of the burning bush, Moses and the burning bush. Now, most of us know the story that Moses, was born into Egypt, raised as a young man in the house of Pharaoh by Pharaoh's daughter, Batya. And in any event, he saw the suffering. He killed one of his brother Egyptians when he saw them fighting with each other. Ended up running away. He met Jethro, married his daughter Tzipporah, and then he was called by God to go up the mountain, the holy mountain, and there he met the bush that burned but was not consumed, the burning bush. Now, a number of things happened at this bush. Now, if we understand the secret over here, as I said, we can learn how to reveal our potential that is sleeping. But we have to understand the Kabbalistic secret, number one, and number two, we have to make use of the most powerful holy name that the Kabbalists explained to us. I mean, it was given from above, but it is the Kabbalah that explains this and how to use it, how to make use of it. So, as Moses is talking to God, as it were, through the bush, it says, and I'm sure we all know the story, because if we didn't see the movie, then maybe we did read the story, and I know a lot of you do know your Bible stories. Moses says in verse 11, and it's chapter 3, verse 11, he says, Vayomer Moshe Elohim, mi anochi elech el paro, v'chi otzi et bnei Yisrael mimitzrayim. Who am I? Who am I to go to the Israelites and, who am I to go to Pharaoh? Moses apparently had a little bit of a low self-esteem and a speaking impediment, apparently. And who am I to tell Pharaoh to release the Israelites from their bondage? Okay. Vayomer. And in verse 12, Vayomer ki eheye imcha. And it doesn't say directly. It says, and he said, and he replied, referring to God, apparently. And he replied, I will be, keep that in mind, I will be with you. I will be with you. וזה לך האות, כי אנוכי שלחתיך בהוציאך את העם ממצרים תעבדון את אלוהים על ההר הזה. And this will be for you, and this will be for you a sign that I sent you. This will be. What will be a sign that I sent you? This will be a sign for you that I sent you. And then you'll come to this mountain and you'll worship God. Okay, fine. Verse 13. Everybody knows this verse, I think. Vayomer Moshe Elohim hine anochi ba bnei Israel. Moses said, okay, to God, well, okay, let's say, I'm going to the Israelites, and I'm going to tell them, Elohei avotechem shlachani alechem. The God of your fathers has sent me to you. Va'amru li ma shemo, ma umar alehem. And they're going to ask me, well, what's his name? What's his name? What should I tell them? What would be my answer? Well, let's think about this for a second. I mean, is this like a real story? I mean, is this even logical? I mean, okay. They're going to say, what's his name? Okay, and let's say you give a satisfactory answer, Moses, and they're going to believe you. And if you don't give them a good answer, maybe they're not going to believe you. I mean, what is this? It doesn't even make any sense, right? I mean, and why would it even make a difference what his name is, right? They're going to ask me, who sent you? Oh, Joe. No, not a good answer. Okay, another name. And we know there are an awful lot of names, right? According to the Kabbalah, there are many names of God. And so we need to understand the concept of the tree of life, which we'll get to in a second. But this tree of life is also an instrument over here because there are 10 holy names that relate to the tree of life in different stages of consciousness. So when Moses said, what name should I give them? Who shall I say sent me? He wasn't really saying, what's a good name? What's a good name to give them? No. What he was asking God was, whatever G-O-D means, okay? Because we're not even clear what is that about. But we won't go there right now. It says, what name I should give them? And what was the answer? What was the answer? Va'amarti lehem Elohei avotechem shlachani aleichem. You should tell them, the God of your fathers, your forefathers, sent me to you. Vayomu li ma shemo, ma umar lahem. And they'll ask me, what is his name? Why is this so important, the name? Say any name. Say bubblegum. No. What should I tell them? Vayomer Elohim el Moshe, Eheyeh asher eheyeh. So the bush, God answers to Moses, tell them, Eheyeh. Eheyeh sent you. Literally, that means, I will be. Tell them, I will be sent you. I will be sent you. What on earth does that even mean? I will be sent you. Vayomer, and he said further, Kol toma livnei Israel. This is what you should tell the Israelites. Eheyeh shlachani aleichem. I will be sent me to you. Eheyeh asher eheyeh. And he told Moses, Eheyeh asher eheyeh, I will be what I will be. I will be what I will be. This is a mystery, okay? We need to understand it. If we understand this secret, we will understand how to awaken the potential that is sleeping within us. Why? So here, God, the bush, there's already 3 different names being mentioned over here. There's Elohim, which is translated as God. There's Adonai, which I'm sure most people have heard of, which is another name which is translated as God. Lord. Though personally, I'm not sure in English, and I've been studying Kabbalah since 1987, what is the difference between God and Lord? Okay, everyone has their own idea. But in English, it makes no sense at all. Okay? In Hebrew, it makes no sense at all. But if we understand through Kabbalistic teachings, there is something called the tree of life. And what most people don't understand about the tree of life, many people are thinking, it's something you meditate on, and the tree of life, and you go through the tree, and you elevate your consciousness. And the Kabbalists were very much aware that in our generation, all the important wisdoms would be mixed with truth and lies, and it is very much so with Kabbalah. I've seen so much. Books on magic, books on this, books on that. That is not what Kabbalah is about. And that is not what the Tree of Life is about. Not for the true Kabbalists. The wisdom of Kabbalah is something that must have been passed down generation through generation through a lineage dating back to Moses and even before Moses. But certainly from Moses' time, 3,500 years ago, if we are to get the pure understanding of the wisdom. Now, were there Kabbalists who did perform fantastic feats? Yes, there were. They were authorized to do so, and they had very specific reasons. Other than that, that type of practice, which is known as practical Kabbalah or Kabbalah Ma'asit in Hebrew, was prohibited, strictly prohibited. Certainly, according to the Kabbalist Rabbi Isaac Luria, who lived 500 years ago, approximately, a little less, said, this is not something we should be doing, because anything you receive by skipping the process, and the process is the Tree of Life, anything you do by skipping the process, skipping the steps that are the Tree of Life, you will pay for. Now, you're going to ask me in the comments, well, how are you going to pay? And I don't know. I have no clue. But one thing is clear. There is no such thing as free. The purpose why the Kabbalists, even going back 2,000 years, the sages, could perform any kind of miracle. They could resurrect the dead. Anyone who is mentioned in the Zohar or the Talmud, any of these holy texts that were put down in writing 2,000 years ago, could do things which we would say are amazing. They could perform miracles at will. They did not, and they were forbidden from doing it publicly. Why? Because the purpose in the creative process was to learn how to become a spiritual person, to become closer to God. Not to be attracted by miracles or magic or fantastic things that they could do, but they didn't want, the Creator did not want people to just become attracted to the, magic and so on, being able to perform miracles, and that would not make spiritual people. That doesn't mean we're doing our spiritual work. So those secrets and methodologies they kept to themselves. In general, it is not a recommended practice to do these things. What is recommended? To understand how the system works and to learn how to use the system and earn your spiritual light so that the miracles will be performed for you, yes, but in the right way. Being in the right place at the right time is a miracle. Waking up in the morning and understanding where you are and receiving what you've created in your life, that's a miracle. We truly must create the miracles. And I'm going to explain that. But having said that, what is this about? So this name, and I'm referring to Eheyeh, I will be. It is the highest level of name which relates to Keter. Those of you maybe have heard of this. Keter, crown of the Tree of Life, the first of the 10 Sefirot, the 10 dimensions of spiritual energy. It is not the most popular name. The most popular name is likely to be, and it is even amongst Jews who pray 3 times a day, must use this name at least 100 or probably more times, Adonai. Adonai. Now, I'm not sure what an actual translation might be. It might be Adoni, my Lord, but there are other names that are similar, that even sound the same. In fact, we understand that this word Adonai, when you write it out, the 4 letters, or what is called the Tetragrammaton, doesn't even say Adonai. It says something else which we do not pronounce. The Kabbalists in the know do not pronounce it. Now, many people make attempt at pronouncing it, and you might be of a different philosophy, different teaching. That's up to you. The Kabbalists explain we do not pronounce these 4 letters because, number one, we don't truly know how to pronounce it. And number two, it is akin to putting your finger in the socket. More energy doesn't mean better, okay? It doesn't mean better. Like putting your finger in the socket. Like we've explained in previous classes about using names of angels, we don't say the names in general, unless they also happen to be names of people. Then it's okay to say them like Michael, Michael. It's an angel. Gabriel. It's an angel. Raphael. It's an angel. But it's okay to use those names because they're also names of people. But names that are not people's names, that are only angels' names, like many people use the name freely, Matat. We refer to as at Matat. He is the angel, archangel in charge of all the other angels. He was formerly in his human form Enoch or Chanoch, and he became Matat or Mettron, if I'm spelling that right, okay? So we don't say the name because we don't want to call that angel in that way. There are other ways of using the angel, but we don't want to call him by name. It's a direct connection, and I can't get into why direct connections are not always a good thing. All right. Well, so what is this name? I will be. I will be. And why does the bush, or God, in this instant, mention the forefathers? I am the God of Abraham, and I'm the God of Isaac, and I'm the God of Jacob. What is that to clue us into? Listen carefully to this so that we make sure we really understand it. The first thing we need to understand here is from the framework of the tree of life, as we mentioned, that this name, Eheyeh, I will be, is a code name that represents the level of Keter. Now, among the Kabbalists, there is perhaps we can call it a difference of opinion, and generally the Sefirot, the tree of life, are thought of as spiritual vessels that hold the light of the Creator, or what we call the light of the endless, which is not directly the Creator, but we're calling it Creator for now. So the endless light of the Creator is funneled, if you will, through these 10 stages. But the top, the Keter, is sort of in between. Now, what does that mean, it's sort of in between? Keter, which is translated as crown, the Kabbalists gave it the name crown for a reason. Let me explain the reason. This analogy is quite simple. The Kabbalists explained how to understand Keter. If a king who wears a crown, right? A king who's wearing his crown is in his city, that he's the king, everyone knows he's king. And he's wearing his crown because that's what the king does. But if he goes to another city and he's not wearing his crown, the question becomes, is he a king still? Well, what would you answer? Is he a king? Well, he is a king. And also he's not a king. I mean, he may not be the king of this city, and certainly if people don't know him and he's not wearing a crown, then we don't know that he's a king. Does that mean he's not a king? Oh yeah, but well, he is a king. So, in a certain way, now again, you got to internalize this idea because it's important. He is, and he isn't at the same time. You see, here we understand in Kabbalah, yes and no could both be correct in the same moment. So he is a king and he's not a king. Let me give you a more practical example, okay? Let's say I take a coin and I flip it in the air, okay? And now I'm going to put it under my hand. Do we know what it is? Is it heads or tails? So the question is, well, what do you mean? We don't know. It's under your hand. Yeah, but isn't it known? Meaning it's not in the air flipping anymore. So it is known. I don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. We don't know what it is. But is it known? So what's the answer? The answer is it is known, but it is unrevealed. Unrevealed to you and I. Only until I take my hand off and I say, oh yeah, well, it's heads. But before I take my hand off the coin, it is known, but it's unknown. To us, it's unknown. But it doesn't mean it's not there. This is a very important understanding. Some people say, if the tree falls in the forest and there's nobody there to hear it, did it make a noise? I mean, we assume so, but we weren't there. So we assume it made a noise, nobody heard it. Same idea. The point here is, and it's unbelievable what the Kabbalists are telling us. God, at this revelation of the burning bush, what did he really tell Moses? He told Moses that every single one of you, every single one of us, has the potential of Abraham, of Isaac, and Jacob within us. That we all have a level of greatness. We have a potential. We have within us, sleeping, unrevealed, in the level of Keter. We have the greatness of all the patriarchs. How much do you think you were like Abraham the patriarch today? I mean, Abraham was so great, and he was also wealthy, and each one of the patriarchs had their own unique, amazing qualities. I mean, what was it? How far are we from being Abraham? How far are we from being Jacob the patriarch? How far are we from being Isaac the patriarch? Who knows? But are we them? Don't we feel very, very far away? What was the Creator telling you? What is this name? Why? Oh, God, tell them this name. Why is that name so important? Because the secret of this name was for what purpose? Eheyeh asher eheyeh. I will be what I will be. Which means what? You will be Abraham. You will be Isaac. You will be the most amazing soul you are now. But it's sleeping. It is unrevealed. It's like the coin under my hand. It's unrevealed. How do we reveal it? Eheyeh. With this name. When we wake up in the morning and we say to ourselves and we meditate on this name, I will be what I will be. But you must use the actual name, Eheyeh. Eheyeh. I will be. And you meditate on the Keter. You meditate on the crown. But you're revealing that light. It's not concealed. It's not in the level of unknown, because this is what the Kabbalists say. It's in between. It's in between known and unknown. And that's where we are. We are in between known and unknown. Like when we put the pen down to write something, but the letter starts with a dot. And now there's a space between where the paper is and where the dot begins. Somewhere in between over there. That's also a keter. Why? Because it's in between. It's in between unknown and known. Another concept of keter, and I explain this in our personal coaching classes. How do you? Isn't it known already in the level of keter? Let's say you like hamburgers. I do. If you don't eat meat, good. That's good for you. But I like grilled hamburgers. And if I'm walking down the street and all of a sudden I smell hamburgers grilling from the shop down the block, but 3 blocks before, I didn't smell it yet. The question is, but wasn't it there before? I smelt it? Oh, now when I got close enough, now I do smell it. Yeah. Now it smells so good. But it was there before. Now think about this. Isn't everything there before? Before we're aware of it, before it's revealed to us? The right street to drive down. That there's no accident over there waiting to happen. Whatever it is that I need, isn't it already there? Oh, well, the Kabbalists say yes. In that level, everything is already there and it's available, but it is still in a state of unrevealed. The smell of the hamburger is there, but it didn't reach me yet. The coin is under my hand, but I don't know what it is yet, but it's already determined. How do we get it to be revealed? We meditate on this name. Eheyeh, I will be. Why does it say I will be as though it's in the future? Because that represents all of our untouched potential that we want to bring about. What does the Creator want, do you think? What does the Creator want for humanity? To be in pain and suffering, in chaos? Well, no. Obviously, of course not. That's totally against the Creator. So why is it? Oh, well, God lets these things happen. No, He doesn't. The only reason why we're here is we wanted to be our own creators. Our souls were already receiving endless light from the Creator. But we, humanity said, wait a second, no, I want to make those decisions. Because it's not about the having, it's about creating what I have. I want to be responsible, I want to be the cause. And that's why the Creator can't really interfere. He's the force and the energy behind everything. Makes everything happen. But He's not interfering in the personal process of the individual. We were given the responsibility because that's what we wanted, to be a creator. Like God, in a way. To mimic, if you will, mimic the Creator. Even though it is the Creator making everything happen, and I know this sounds funny, but the Creator's waiting for us to give Him permission. Okay, come in over here. Okay, come in over here. Give me abundance. Yeah, but we need to do something, right? Can't just sit and say, yeah, I'm going to do nothing with my feet up. Give me abundance. No, it doesn't work that way. We need to create. But they also, and they gave us tools. The Creator gave us tools. Again, if we understand the secrets, good tools that we can use. And that's what this name is about. We tap into the revelation of the Keter, to bring the Keter into the revealed state instead of staying in the concealed state. And I hope this is making sense to you. I hope you understand that this is an unbelievable tool that has so many benefits, so much power attached to it. It is the highest name. But we must understand that it is to reveal potential. You see, the Adonai name is different because it relates immediately to this world and how we bring spiritual energy into this world and how to unify them together. That's another discussion. That's why it's more something that we deal with every day. But this name, again, the Eheyeh name, is to connect us to the higher stages, the unknown, unrevealed realm of potential that we want to reveal in this world. And this is the name to help us reveal all that is untapped and unrevealed that exists within us. The power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. Unbelievable. Be blessed, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. All the best.